Whoa! I know you guys are here. Let me give you an update on the race down south. Just got done talking to Mark on the phone, and he took his Nova for a ride. He might have been in the Nova at the time that he was talking to me. And now he says he did a little pull with it. He's been messing around with it. Now he definitely has more confidence. He feels a little bit better about it. Up until then, I don't think he really ever thrashed on this car. So I think he's definitely more confident. I'm going to Maple Grove, hopefully, weather permitting, July 7th to race it again. And me and Mark just talked about it. If I just run mid-11s, the race is all good. If I run like 11 flat or 10, then there's no sense in me racing. He believes his car might be able to be like a 12 flat car on a good day, maybe sneaking in the 11s a little bit, and he just thinks the whole second is too much, which it is. And I think that's a reasonable times and stuff like that, because it's 8th mile and anything goes in an 8th mile. But if I'm that much faster than him, there's no sense. So that's where we're at with that, and I'm happy that this is coming together the way it is, because then, you know, he feels like he has a chance. I'm not coming down there for a pigeon shoot or massacre. I'm coming down there to actually race. This is all entertainment values. It's all for fun. Of course I want to win. Of course he wants to win. But this is just for fun. I mean, we'll see once we get down the racetrack how much fun we're having. But so that's where we're at with that. Now, another thing's going on. Well, let me show you what's going on. Okay, I got a couple things in the works. Let's take a look at them. Okay. Ta-da! Look at that Stingray. Look at that Schwinn. Yeah, I love Schwinns. I love Stingrays. When I was 12 years old and I was going to get my own bicycle, these things were being phased out, and then the 10 speeds were coming in, and I never really liked the 10 speeds. These things were the badass bikes. Okay, now my oldest brother had a crate, with a Springer front end. This is my middle brother, Mickey. He's the one that just passed away. He actually gave me this bike before he passed away, which is pretty cool. You know, I didn't like rob the estate. He actually gave me this bike, and I was real happy to receive it. So I'm gonna get this on the road. Again, this bike is fucking cool. I love these old bikes, these Stingrays. Again, this reminds me of my youth. Again, I never had one, but I always wanted one, and I just think they're badass. And another thing that's on the horizon. Okay, take a look what I got here. I got some springs. The coil springs in there. Rear leaf springs here. And this 57's about ready to get a makeover. This car, now I got the Vega to a certain point. Now I want to get the 57 to a certain point. Now I'm actually now that doesn't mean the Vega stops. It just means the 57 gets going. And I just want to have a little bit better stance. The back is dragging a little bit. I mean, this is a cool car regardless, but I'm just going to make it a little cooler. Now, I told you in the one episode, I got a 4-speed for it. This right now, 3 on a tree, and that's cool, whatever, it's great. Everybody thinks I should keep it original, but I want to have some fun with this car. 3 on a tree is cool, but you know what, I'll keep the 3 on a tree in case anybody, after I die, wants to put it back to 3 on a tree. Okay, it's not like you hit 60 years old, and then you start over again at 16. I want to put the 4-speed in, raise it up a little bit better stance, and that's where I'm at with this. And of course, there's the Vega. Okay, I'll be working on that a little bit today. I got a air fuel mixture gauge, AFR gauge, I guess. Hopefully I'll have that in by the time we race. If not, no big deal. It'd be a good idea to know where I'm at. Is that cheating? Nah, not really. I don't think it's cheating. I mean, I got the carburetor and stuff like that. I think it's a good tool to work with. So that's where I'm at, and on with the rest of the program. One thing I did make note of before is, like, over the winter time I changed out the fuel system. And let me try to explain to you why I changed the fuel system. What I did have in the car was a Holly blue pump, which seemed like it worked fine. And I also had a regulator up front. I guess it's air motive, and everything seemed to work fine. But what happened was the way I had this mounted, well, let me show you. Let me try to give you an idea of how my system is set up here. Okay, this is the gas tank. Let me show it to you. Well, let's back up a little bit here. I have an original Vega gas tank in there because I like pulling down the license plate and putting gas in it. I could put a fuel cell in it and maybe someday I will. But right now, this is for whatever reason I like it. I think it's cool. It takes me back to when I was younger, and that's where you put gas in a lot of cars. So I had the gas tank, and then I found a Vega gas tank that was a race car, I guess, and they welded a sump in it. There's the sump. Okay, now because of the way this car is set up, I didn't really have a good place to really mount the fuel pump. So I made a bracket and I mounted it right around, let me see if I can show you guys, right around here. Okay, and what it was is that if you look at the gas tank and where the sump is, it's pretty far down, and these fuel pumps, most of the electric fuel pumps are set up to be gravity fed. Well, I feel that the amount of distance I had for the gravity force to feed it, I felt that with just a little bit of sloshing around in the tank, I lost the force to feed it. Now, a lot of people say, well, maybe it was I have the jet extensions and up in the floats, or the float wasn't right. But we checked all the float. The float was right. Float levels were right. I have the extensions on the jets. Okay, so what would happen is when I pulled out, when I did came out of the hole really good, it would fall on its face. It would like really fall on its face. And that's my fuel system set up. Pretty proud of that. It looks really nice. I did a nice job with the plate and mounting it up. Definitely proud of it. So what would happen is when I came out of the hole hard, it would fall on its face. It would just seem like it ran out of fuel. And like I said, we checked the float levels. We checked. I have the jet extensions in the carburetor. I personally feel, because, and also I put foam in the gas tank too. I made a bigger vent, so I kind of touched base on just a little bit of everything, and it's still like coming out of the hole and it would block down. And my personal opinion, my personal theory is that the way I had to mount the fuel pump and where the gas tank was, yes, it was gravity fed, but if there's any type of sloshing around or anything like that, I might have lost enough force from the gravity pushing into the fuel pump. That was my theory. That's the only thing I could think of. It was driving me crazy. So what I did, I bought a better fuel pump. The Weldon fuel pump is supposed to push and pull. So you could actually mount this wherever you wanted to, and it would have suction also, and also a push. So it's best of both worlds. Costs a little bit more money, and what happened once I put it in, it works. It works great. It did not stumble, it did not fall, it did not do anything, any of the symptoms I had problems with. Now, correlation doesn't mean causation. Just because it's not acting up now, doesn't necessarily means I had the right theory. For whatever reason, the electric fuel pump that I bought took care of the problem. Maybe it had nothing to do with the way it was mounted. I thought it was, and it worked. So I'm going to take a W for that. I'm going to say that I think that's what it was. So that's where we're at right now with the fuel, with the electric fuel pump, and also with the fuel pump I bought. I just saw it, so I got to get that. Got it, go on and install it, and I saw it. You need a return on it. I didn't buy it to I didn't say I have to have a return line in my fuel system to make it. But no, it's just the fact that because it pumped out a higher volume of gas, and it didn't have no regulator inside the fuel pump, I had to make I had to change out, and I got a fuel regulator. So yeah, I'll take the W. I'll say that's why it was. I don't know if it was. Maybe it was. The only reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people I was telling that to, they kind of looked at me like, like my German Shepherds used to look at me when I said something, they would cock their head like, I don't know about that. But that works, so that's where we're at. And here, let me show you again. There's my new puke tank in it. I don't know how many times you guys saw my engine bay. I think I love the carburetor with the purple. I love the Moroso valve covers. I love my intake. Just so you know, the intake and the Moroso valve covers are brought to you by Tommy. That's Tommy DePauw's Automotive. Poor Tommy. I don't know how much stuff he has in his car. His car is part his, I believe. Between the time he put into it and little extras he helped me with. But yeah, that intake is Tommy's. The Moroso valve covers are Tommy's. I'm not sure what else I got. Just go a lot of time and energy from Tommy. So again, I gotta thank him. I've said this before. I thank a lot of my friends, not just Tommy. A lot of my friends pitched in to make this car what it is. Even the guy that I'm going down to race, Mark. You realize he was part of the team that Pat and Mark team put this motor back together after I had problems with it. So it's kind of ironic that I'm going down to beat up on him. I mean, just race him, not beat him. That's a slip of the tongue. I'm not going to make him look too bad, but he is one of the team that put this motor back together. So. Try to test the line lock. Line lock, for people who don't know about race cars and stuff like that, line lock is sorry, I'm just trying to let people go. Line lock is a system where it locks up just your front tire so you can do a burnout. It came with it on when I bought it. I just never tested it because I don't know, I just never did. And when I do think about it, I'm at a racetrack. I don't like to lock up on the starting line. How my front wheels lock up. And I can't go, so I'm a little apprehensive. So I'm going to try it here on the street. See if I can here on the street so I can see if it works good. bit of test run, a little bit of try. Pretty cool. This is so badass. You have no idea how much of a dream this is of mine. Pulling into a garage, my 57's up front. My wife is right here. Good? So badass. So badass. Does it look okay?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I didn't look at it yet, but...
Well, you know.
That's, yeah, I know.